lbeats.com.
What your religion is. We don't care what organization you belong to. We don't care how far in school you went or didn't go. We don't care what kind of job you have. We have to give you credit for shocking the white man by not letting him divide you and use you one against the other. White man has been his ability to divide and conquer. As Jackie Robinson pointed out beautifully on the television last night, 4/5 of the world isn't white. Isn't that what Jackie said? And if 4/5 of the world is dark, how is it possible for 1/5 to rule, oppress, exploit, dominate, and brutalize the 4/5 who are in the majority? How do they do it? Divide and conquer. If I take my hand and slap you, you don't even feel it. It might sting you because these digits are separated. But all I have to do to put you back in your place is bring those digits together. What the white man has done to you and me. He has divided us and used us one against the other. Since the so-called Negro community has shocked the white man by resisting all efforts to divide us, I think that you and I should continue to shock him by staying and working together in unity. Despite religious, political, economic, or educational, or social differences, let us remember that we are not brutalized because we're Baptist. We're not brutalized because we're Methodist. We're not brutalized because we're Muslim. We're not brutalized because we're Catholic. We're brutalized because we are black people in America.
The strategy of divide and conquer is as old as conflict itself. Basically, it says that if you want to conquer a group of people, you don't want to fight them head-on like you're freaking Neo. Instead, you want to create division and distrust within that group. The goal is to separate the enemy into factions that are not strong enough on their own. For example, if you don't want the media and the public to unite against you, you can turn them against each other by calling the media fake news and an enemy of the American people. Some people will agree, some won't, but the point is that everyone will be forced to pick a side. And no matter which side they pick, the result is a fractured environment that only benefits one person.
And then there was also the divide and conquer method, The elements of this technique involved creating or encouraging divisions among the subjects to prevent alliance that could challenge the sovereign, aiding and promoting those who are willing to cooperate with the sovereign, fostering distrust and anonymity between local rulers, encouraging meaningless expenditures that reduce the capability for political and military spending. During all this, it was important for the British, for example, in Africa, but also other colonizers in the different continents to first study the people, see which tribes were against each other, and also to pick one favorite tribe over another. And then you use the people you have chosen as superior to fight for you. One example for example, India, there were kingdoms that were naturally like they had bickerings or fightings against each other. And so this made it easier for the British to align themselves with one kingdom to fight the second kingdom. Then once that kingdom was destroyed, then the British would turn on the kingdom they had aligned themselves with. And these, of course, have huge impact on the people afterwards, even post-colonialism, because these people still have to live together. And once you've turned people against each other and made them distrust each other, made them hate each other, and then you say, well, I don't understand why the savages are always having wars in their countries, without understanding how this was actually a tactic used during colonialism. And we also are to blame for that, because we need to learn these things and know these are techniques that are used to make us each other's enemies, right? And we shouldn't be that. In Uganda, for example, my own country, the same strategy of divide and conquer was used. It was the Baganda tribes who got to play favorite child. However, the real conflict in Uganda emerges from the British system of indirect rule, which favored the kingdom of Buganda due to its predominant exposure to Christianity. Also, in line with British ideas of social Darwinism and racial science, Baganda was favored as it had a more advanced system of political organization than other kingdoms of the area. In the divide and rule strategy, the British exported the Ganda political system to other areas and popped up Baganda agents throughout the protectorate. Indeed, the Baganda became the cruel arm of the British. And this is a very important part. And this caused, of course, great resentment within my country as well, because you use the people themselves to oppress each other. During slavery, for example, in America, it was often that slave masters, instead of like punishing the slaves themselves, would take another slave to punish the slave. And this creates animosity, because when the slave master goes back to his house and his family and so on, these people, the slaves, had to still sleep in the same compounds, maybe in the same house. And it created a rift where people should be unified and working together to fight that common evil. And by making them focus more on the hatred they had against each other, the British or the Europeans in these countries to go on with their own mission, because nobody was paying them no mind, right? And this is a very big part of the US-centric worldview, is to define differences, classify differences, and then put them against each other. So divide and conquer was actually part of their own worldview, in that things that are different should be put and classified, especially with Darwinism coming into play, that some things are better than others, and therefore if there are differences, we must classify them by what is better and what is worse. Whereas in many places, people had different languages, they spoke different languages, had different religions or even spiritualities, but still could live amongst each other without problems. And when the British, especially in India, seeing this mixed pot of different people, not that there were no conflicts at all, there were conflicts. That's why they were also able to use the small conflicts and expand them to bigger conflicts, so that these people were more focused on fighting each other than, of course, their common enemy. Then there was also the cultural genocide, of course, destroying artifacts, scriptures, cultural symbols, languages, spirituality. In this phase, you are destroying the home, physical and mental state of the natives. And it's easier to program and to control people in a state of helplessness than when they are empowered and they have their languages, their cultures, and who they are, their identity. So it's important to strip it entirely away. And if you are a colonizer, of course, in order to replace it and substitute it with your own. So whatever they took away, they replaced with their own religion. That's how a lot of countries that became Christians. And I always find it interesting how in the current days, like Europe fears the invasion of Muslims, because maybe, like I say, we are our ancestors. Maybe there is a sense in them that what if they do to us what we did to them? The destroying of culture is quite important. Also, you have a famous black scholar, I can't remember her name, but she's female, and she once said that the culture tradition of a people is their immune system. So by destroying the cultures and traditions of people, it's easy for them, because they are weak, to implement your own ideas of the world, your own ideas of how they should be. So yeah, guys, those are the 3 main places I wanted to talk about, and also to bring awareness. And then after all this, of course, we are going to go in the next one, the destruction of nature and spirituality. And the last one will be on the psychological effects that we now live with because of that.
Which one of them women you think is more attractive? Why don't you go first? Lady B. Lady B? Yeah. You say Lady B?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you ever heard of who Willie Lynch is?
Hell no. Willie Lynch.
Willie Lynch.
Oh, Lynch.
Okay.
I heard that name before, but shit, I don't know.
Okay, the reason why I asked you that is because the women, the people I just asked you, who's more attractive. Now, why would you say that B is more attractive than A?
Because she light-skinned, she fine, she got long hair, and she just look better than her. She black, bald head, big lips, and I don't want her.
Okay. All y'all feel the same way?
Yeah.
Okay, now, this one here that you said is more attractive is actually a man dressed up like a woman.
Which doll is the black doll? And which one is the white doll? Which doll is the pretty doll? Which doll is the nice doll? Which doll is the bad doll? Which doll is the nice doll? And which doll is the bad doll? And why is that doll pretty?
Because he's white and he has 2 eyes.
Which doll is the ugly doll? Why is that doll ugly?
Because he's black.
Which doll looks most like you?
Like me.
Yeah, which one looks like you?
That one.
Okay.
lbeats.com.
I saw that shit. They just asked the wrong questions. I wish I could have been there. Where's the little serial killer doll? The white one? Where's the little doll that tell lies? The white one? Where's the little doll that steals all the money? The white one? Baby told me to get the hell out of the room. You leave. We don't have enough white dolls. Get out of here.
My first guest is about to say, no ifs, ands, or buts, will probably be considered by most of you some of the most racist, incendiary words that you've ever heard before in your life. Listen to this.
I don't like dark skin because it looks dirty to me. I do not like the big nose. I do not like the big lips. When I look at a black person with a big nose, they look like monkeys.
Please welcome Shelly to the show. You got a Explain what you're saying to me, girlfriend, because I don't understand really a word that came out of your mouth.
Basically, society categorized me as black, but I don't see myself as black. I'm not black. I don't want to be black. Being black has been a curse. Being born black has been a curse.
If we are the same shade, then that means you're calling yourself dirty.
No, I'm not dirty.
This is really a trip to me. I'm sorry. Y'all gotta understand, I'm having a meltdown inside my head right now. But I'm trying my best to deal with this the right way. See, I personally look at you, and I look at me, and don't think that we're that much darker or lighter than her, do you?
No.
But we are dirty. You and I look like monkeys. And not only do we look like monkeys, but I'm stupid. I'm ignorant.
I know right now, through what you're saying, that you are not well in your head.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, your opinion doesn't matter because you're black. What you should have did was bleach your skin, and you should have lost some weight and cleaned your nappy hair before you come to national TV like that. Next.
Wow. You know, and wait, now I gotta tell you something. Even for me, I'm looking at some of these clips for the first time after having seen the show months ago and seen these guests. That young lady who felt that way about herself feels that way about herself because of the images that she's been fed, she believes, her whole life. We're gonna take a little break. We come back. We're gonna meet Shelley's best friend and actress Robin Givens, who joined in the conversation. And you don't want to miss this. We'll be back right after this.
I am Tupac Shakur. I have to be a reminder that we can't chill out. No, it ain't time to cool out and banquets and all that. It's still on. It's on just like it was on when you was young, and you want to say fuck that, just like you said fuck that back then. So how come now that I'm 20 years old, ready to start some shit up, everybody telling me to calm down? You know, don't curse, go to school, go to college. Well, fuck that. You know, we had colleges for a while now. You know what I'm saying? And it's still Brenda's out there, and niggas is still trapped. You know what I'm saying? And it gets me hurt. because I understand that it's not going to stop. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to stop until we stop it. And it's not just white men that's doing this to Brenda, and it's not just white men that's keeping us trapped. It's black. You know what I'm saying? We have to find the new African in everybody, in all of us. Because if we keep running around looking for black and who got the most colors on and who got the baddest dashiki on, we still gonna get, excuse my language, fucked. Because it irks me that my mother right now is going through, she has to get clean. This is somebody who I watched travel the whole country, you know what I'm saying, during a time when women were scared to speak up for the Black Panthers. She spoke at Harvard, Yale, everywhere. And now I see my mother as what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see no big parades around my mother now. And she done got a dozen fucking awards. And I don't see nobody there. You understand what I'm saying? So about all this, I take that lightly. I take all this lightly. What I want you to take seriously is what we have to do for the youth. Because we're coming up in a totally different world. This is not the same world that you had. This is not the 60s. This is not that. We grew up BC, before crack. That should say it all. You understand what I'm saying? We did not grow up without parents. You had parents that told you this and that, and this is what went on back in the day. Now you don't have that. You have young kids, 14, coming home, their mama is smoking out or doing it to their best friend to get the product. You understand what I'm saying? So that means that it's not just about you taking care of your child, it's about you taking care of these children. Because that's what's out here. It's a gang of children. You understand what I'm saying? And it hurts. It hurts that it bothers me, not hurts. It bothers me that I have to sidestep my youth to stand up and do some shit that somebody else supposed to be doing. You understand what I'm saying? There's too many men out here for me to be doing this. Because it ain't my turn yet. I'm supposed to be following behind him getting the knowledge. I don't even got a chance to get the fucking knowledge. I can't go to college. There's too much problems out here. I don't got the money. Nobody do. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is it's not as easy as we mapping it out
to be. And we got to stay real. We got to stay real. Before we can be New African, we got to be black first. Right. You understand? We got to get our brothers from the street like Harriet Tubman did. Why can't we look at that and see exactly what she was doing? Like Malcolm did. The real Malcolm. Before the Nation of Islam. You got to remember this was a pimp. You know what I'm saying? The push and all that. We forgot about all of that. And our strive to be enlightened, we forgot about all our brothers in the street. Right. About all our dope dealers, our pushers and our pimps. Right. And that's who's teaching the new generation. That's right. Because y'all not doing it. I'm sorry. But it's the pimps and the pushers who's teaching us. So if you got a problem with how we was raised, it's because they was the only ones who could do it. They the only ones who did it. While everybody else wanted to go to college and, everything has changed. They was the ones that was telling you the white man ain't shit. Here you go. Check this out, young blood. You take this product, you switch it, you make money, and that's how you beat the white man. You get money, you get the hell up out of here. Nobody else did that. So I don't want to hear shit about nobody telling me who I can't love and respect until you start doing what they did. You understand what I'm saying? To me, this is Mecca. You know what I'm saying? This is the black family. I see it here. But what makes it even that much more sad, what makes me want to cry, is because as soon as I leave here, so does Mecca. You understand what I'm saying? We're going back to the real deal. Right out there, you're going to see them same sisters and Brenda. They right out there. And y'all going to get in y'all cars and drive the fuck home.
Well, when you say youth crime, you see what the thing people forget is the thing that which makes our people turn toward crime is the society in which we live, the social pressures that we live under. And these pressures are actually initiated by the white man himself. But see, the white man is so shrewd, he's like a serpent that will bite a lamb, and then when the lamb can't run well, like the other sheep can, he'll accuse the lamb of being lazy. And he won't admit that it is his poison that he has put inside the lamb that has made this lamb appear to be defective. And it's the same way when he says about this crime business. The white man brings dope into the Negro community, whiskey into the Negro community. He organizes gambling in the Negro community and prostitution and all types of immorality. And then when Negroes become addicted or afflicted or the victims of this crime, he starts talking about Negro crime. No, we don't go for that. The white man is the criminal who has authored this crime. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's religion points these things out. He makes black people see it, and black people stop thinking that they're the ones who are at fault. They put the fault where it belongs. It belongs right at the White House door, or right at the door of the white man.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Nick. I'm gonna keep this as short as possible. I just want to first of all give thanks to everybody who come by and show love, all the new supporters, all the old supporters, all the people out there that's doing the work to help our ancestors and our legacy live on. I appreciate y'all, man, and I respect everything that y'all do. With that being said, man, I really want to talk about a couple of things that I feel is important. We have been divided up so much right now that it's ridiculous. And I don't think a lot of our people recognize it, man. That's the thing about it that ails me, is that I look at it and I say, why are we so divided? How are we so divided? Now, I know that a lot of different institutions were set up and implemented in order to create this division, but my thing is, how did it become so successful? And once I started reflecting upon this and looking around, I started seeing that, damn, it was the people who did it. The people who accepted the ideas of the people who's put there to divide them. And not only that, sometimes they would use their own people in sheep's clothing to do it. Like you look at the Black Panther Party, it fell from within because of informants, because of people that look just like you and I, that's out here working on both sides. Now, our people don't understand that these people have set up these institutions all against us. So whenever we sit up here and we try to make any type of strides to collaborate and get together, what do? They divide us up. They find more ways and more factions to divide us up. Now, like Tupac was saying, it's a lot of these people out here that, they go to them, like he was speaking to those African people that was, the African conscious people at the time that he was alive. The African people, the so-called conscious people, was the ones running around here acting like they knew their African ancestry. But a lot of people don't know that was only 10 fucking years in the making at that point in time when he was giving that speech. Because the people are, in 1984, it was a black girl from one of the universities that's in America that came up with the DNA evidence that supposedly supported that the out of Africa theory. Now, our people went and took they bullshit information and came up with a whole theory that has devastated our own people. And guess what they did? They was just like, ha, yeah, you right, and ran with it. And then 4 years later, Jesse Jackson started calling us African Americans. Before that, our folks never spoke of Africa in that such a manner. You had Marcus Garvey that tried to come down and talk about the Federation of African People, but that was because of the fact that they was trying to liberate people around the world and trying to find the real Ethiopian people, the Ethiopian people. They was trying to create an alliance amongst black people around the world. They wasn't trying to tell you that you was African and that you come from Africa and that they was trying to do this. They was just trying to create an alliance. What Marcus Garvey did was he destroyed that alliance. He went in there and gave them the fucking information. So you got a lot of these niggas, this so-called conscious, running around here telling everybody, oh, Marcus Garvey, Marcus Garvey. But you don't understand. Marcus Garvey is the one who sold them out and gave them the information of what these folks were trying to do. They were trying to set up their own trade system and monetary system of their own. And they was calling it, it was not the African Federation or whatever. It became that. But the thing about it is that our people, we don't do any reflecting with each other. We go back to the source of our problems. And every single time, it's always a white man that done basically lied to us about some shit. Most of the information that we are politicking over today is shit that have just come about in the last 30 and 40 years. But while we sitting back politicking about these things, you got people that are being disconnected from the Indian history. We got people that don't even still know that the Indians are black. We got people that really don't understand that they were Negro people. And when I say Negro, you got to think about it. The same people that you're talking about in the slave trade, when you think about a slave trade, what do you think about? You think about a Negro. You think about a nigga with some nappy hair, a dark-skinned nigga with some nappy hair. All right? Now, there's people in here and out in the world that do not know that those Negroes with nappy hair are actually Indians. That those same people that they was classifying as Negroes with nappy hair are actually indigenous to this land. And that they were the ones that they were classifying as savages. The ones they still classify as savages. The connection is not being made. We being disconnected. Why? Because we so divided. We have so many compartmentalizations that's going on with our people. That's what they do. They compartmentalize. You might learn a little bit about this. You might learn a little bit about that. But you're not going to learn the whole truth. We got half-truths. And why do we have these half-truths? Because we got people that are being promoted to say, oh, just believe. Believe what you want to believe. And then on the other side, what they're being told is, oh, just believe with people that believe what you believe. Don't worry about, don't worry about going out here and, doing any problem solving. Don't think. Just think about shit with people that think like you. But, you can't never learn nothing if you do that. If you always surround yourself with people that's always going to agree with you, yes, and never try to oppose what you're saying, then how the hell you going to learn? And a lot of our people, once that happens, they create their own shit and be like, well, we'll just go our way and y'all just go y'all way. But y'all don't understand that tactic has been used against you in the past and it's being used against you right now. I'm not just talking about the indigenous people. I'm talking about Christians. I'm talking about Muslims. I'm talking about all the people around the world and all the people in America that are divided amongst all of these different ideals. Because all of them are ideals. But I can tell you what ain't no ideal. Our people being oppressed. They ain't no ideal. That has physical ways to prove that. That has easy psychological ways to prove that. The quality of life that we are enduring while here on this earth. This beautiful earth that God done put forth. That's another thing. Some people want to talk about God. Some people don't want to talk about God. The truth about God can't be told. Because people want to wrap it up around the ideology of a man. Like, i.e. Muslim, i.e. Christian, i.e. Hebrew Israelite, i.e. conscious awake people. Now these people with the indigenous people, it's like, my first thing from when I started seeing these groups a couple of years ago was I was wondering, and I always asked them, where's the structure at? Where's the structure of people? And that's the biggest disconnection that we got amongst indigenous people, is that nobody really want to talk about God. Nobody want to talk about the earth. Nobody want to talk about anything other than Indians. Now, that's something that we can all easily prove. That's something that we can all easily show. But when it comes down to it, these other people have things that are out there affecting their lives that they see in front of them, And whenever they getting turned off, because guess what? Whenever we debate about it, oh, you can have one person talking about Indian and what we know about Indian, And then that conversation will lead to something else. And then those two people who was agreeing will wind up disagreeing with each other by the end of the conversation. That is a direct influence. That is a direct, basically that shows you how the division done been set up, man. It shows you how the division is effective, how effective that it is. You don't have two people that can singularly agree. Why? Because our communication is not the same. But when these white folks talking together, though, they agree on one accord. Even though they shit is lies, they don't give a fuck. They gonna stand beside each other telling that lie. Because guess what? They benefiting off of it. It's not hurting them. Their survival is okay. But our survival is the one that's in jeopardy. Until we undivide ourselves, we're gonna continue to fall. We're gonna continue to fail, man. We're going to continue to be divided and we're going to continue to get conquered. We are not conquered yet. It's evidence of us still being here. It's evidence of us everywhere. When you look around, they doing everything they can to conquer us. They won't even allow a black man with my skin tone to be in the media anymore because of the fact that they want to conquer this image. And it really hurt me to my heart to see our own people trying to get rid of that image also. That's exactly what these oppressors want us to do, man. I'm not going to get into that. I may make a video on to that, but I'm not really into trying to, argue and prove points, man. You know what I mean? Because that shit is irrelevant. The point that I'm trying to prove is that our people out here being lied to, and that ain't nothing I got to prove. That can easily be seen. We out here being tricked and deceived, and the devil working very hard. He working overtime. People don't understand. They don't understand that it's a lot of hands that's got their hands into what's going on with us. And until we can all come together as a solid group, we're gonna continue to fight. We're gonna continue to fuss, fight, and argue for nothing, man. I hope y'all can really get what I'm trying to see. Get what I'm trying to show y'all, man, and get y'all to see that we got to break these walls down. Whether these people know it or not, it don't matter what they think they are. These people are indigenous, and they still being oppressed. They being oppressed because they're indigenous. Like Malcolm said, they being oppressed because they're a black person in America. They are the original people of America, like he also said before he died. But I'm going to let y'all go, man, because I didn't want to keep it, I want to try to keep this video kind of short. But like I said, man, I appreciate all the support that y'all got, man. Every single thing that y'all can do for me, I really appreciate it. I'm going to continue to try to do what I can do. And I'm going to continue to make these videos, like I say, or whatnot, man. But until the next time, y'all be safe, be careful, God bless you, and I'll see you next time. Peace.